Well, dear fellow friends from the SET, as well as friends from the Thai industry, um, what being the last talk and the last speaker in the day is kind of difficult, and the PowerPoint was prepared for 45 minutes, but I would finish it in 15. So that's the good news for you. So if you give me attention for 15, I think you'll get the key message. Yeah. And on behalf of the firm, S&P Dow Jones Indexes, I'm pleased to be here to share with you how outside of Thailand, how people look at sustainability, and how being included in the sustainability indexes can benefit the firm, the country, and the individuals. So that's my objective. And look, I guess at the end of today, when I go home, I will share with my family and my colleagues that I share the same stage with the Prime Minister of Thailand. Okay, without further ado, quickly. I was in New York early this month. It was the 2nd of February. I was heavily jet lagged, and the storm came in. So out of the storm, I saw a truck. And the truck said, the message on the side was sustainability is our responsibility. So at that time, I know I'm going to come to Thailand. And I thought I'll take the pictures to share with you, look, if you are being recognized as being sustainable, you can advertise, with that. So that's a key message. And today is about celebrations, celebration with all those Thai companies that get admitted into the constituents of the Dow Jones Sustainability Index. So I congratulate all the key players, the senior executives for doing that. What you have done sets a great example for all the other Thai companies. And we are also working with the SCT to consider and plan whether there are things we can do further to push the idea of sustainability in Thailand. So this is the brief rundown. So 5 minutes each session. So we need some definition. And when we look at sustainability, let's look at CalPERS, one of the biggest employee pension fund in the world. How do they look at sustainability? Basically, it's the ability to continue and prosper. And we look at 3 different elements: environmental, social, and governance. So basically, we are saying that we want to do good business today, but in the future, we want our children to enjoy life and do good business. So that's the key point about it. Here are some of the observations outside of Thailand, both in Asia and also in Europe, like how people look at this. A lot of money is following sustainability, so it's important to be considered sustainable. Well, I guess the SCT will share the PowerPoint with a lot of the friends here, so they don't have to take pictures. Yeah, okay. So indexes, what we do. We have been doing indexing for 115 years. Personally, I was involved in 7 years. Like, I'm not 100-year-old. So with this, I just want to say passive investment has received a lot of attention and momentum the past 20 years. So in terms of ETFs, right now globally, we are looking at $2 trillion. And a lot of this, is tied to sustainability indexes. And I also want to point out, like, other than the ETF and other structured products, we also have a lot of corporate money being tied to, so that's about 6.57 trillion. Yeah, lots of corporate money are tied to mandates in sustainability. So again, this emphasizes the importance of being recognized as sustainable leaders. So what do we do, like, in terms of the indexes? Like, we do the important work of complying the indexes, but the tough part of the work is done by Robeco Sam. I'm sure many of you have experience dealing with Robeco Sam. If you are committed to the exercise, they'll send you a questionnaire, 80 to 120 questions, fairly difficult to fulfill. I talked with some of the corporate friends, and they told me that they need to hire people to do the questionnaire. Yeah. So look, it's worthwhile. You hire the people, you pay the cost, but you get more attention. Your share price might increase in the future because more people are chasing after your shares. Why did we pick Wapiko Sam as our analytical partner? Quite simply, they are fund managers themselves. They have about $12 billion that they manage. The most important thing is they have been in this business for 15 years and they have won many awards. So they are the recognized leaders in sustainability analysis, and so we picked them. And we just celebrated a 15-year anniversary with them 4 months ago. So I will skip a lot of these discussions about the actual process because you can read about those. But what I want to stress would be when we talk about ESG, what kind of questions are we talking about? Like, I'll just look at the middle part, the environment now. Okay, so put it in simple terms, like if a company is creating a product, like is the company also polluting the environment? I think that's the question to ask. And a lot of the corporates will tell me they have ways to reduce the pollutions that they create. And I think that's great. So this is what the questionnaire is about. Like you do what you have to do, maximize the profit for the firm. You want to maximize the share value, but you also want to be responsible to the society. And so that's environmental. Social, what are we talking about in terms of social? One example would be how do you treat your employees in terms of female colleagues having children, like what kind of accommodation or like what kind of rest or leave holidays do you provide? Like you are helping a lot to the Thai government, the Thai society. You want to ensure a stable workforce, minimize the unrest, and that's good for the company as well as for the country as a whole. Economical, what are we talking about? We are talking about crisis management. We are talking about how we deal with crime, like crime prevention, and also also illegal acts and stuff like that. A good company with good sustainability practices, they would have detailed plans to deal with those. Yeah. And also in terms of this corporate assessment, sustainability assessment, Wapiko Sam also hire an outside news agency, RapRisk, to monitor the news. So it's not just based on your questionnaire, but it's based on a questionnaire plus monitoring of the news, and also the process and is vouched by Deloitte, a major accountant. So this is the latest sustainability yearbook. And Thailand, is included there as well. So I think Thailand has entered the spotlight in the world. So I finished one first, so I think I'm doing good on time. Yeah. The latest development in terms of sustainability is it has kind of evolved and moved to another level. So there have been lots of research on sustainability of a country. So Wapiko Sam has been driving a lot of that. Why do we need to look at how sustainable a country is if we already look at the companies? I think the reason is they are users, on this information because there are many pension funds in the world. They look at country allocation. So in a way, you need to look at what kind of ranking you have. So I look at the latest numbers, and the top 10 is right here. Sweden is the top. It's kind of interesting to see that the Nordic countries, Sweden and Denmark, Norway, Finland, like they are within the top 10. So you might be wondering why. And I can tell you, like, because 20 years ago they start to embrace the concepts. So it's never too late to kind of catch up and match their process. And in Asia, the leaders in terms of the country ranking right now, it's like Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, and I think Thailand is doing quite well. It's quite close to Korea. Yeah, so in a way, there's still room for improvement, but I would have to reckon that Thailand has done a lot to catch up to the global standard. So I think I talked about this already. So basically, the country ranking is basically prompted by the witnessing of a lot of crisis. So we need to know about what kind of risks we are facing in different countries in the world. So from the SET website, glad to see that SET is joining the UN initiative for sustainable stock exchanges. So it's good to know SET is sponsoring this. The country buys into this. Like in the speech by the Prime Minister, I could not understand anything, but I felt the motivation, I felt the energy, so that was good stuff. So the CSA process, like the assessment of the company or even the countries, like this page basically tells you it's kind of an iterative process. You fill in the questionnaire, and then Robico Sam would ask you questions, clarify. And then, it's kind of an iterative process that you learn about the best practice globally. So it's a mutual respect and investment. You invest the time and effort, and they tell you what's happening outside of the world so that you can have better policies to kind of deal with all these sustainability issues. So this page just gives you some examples of like what are the real savings. If you look at the second point, environmental revenue generation, the example I can think of would be BMWs. In the past, any car would have a displacement of like 3 or 4 liters, like V8, and give you 400 horsepower. Now with a 2-liter engine, you get the same horsepower. So that's cleaning the environment, and then we're giving the consumers the same stuff. So it's one example that the firm can do well, and yet helping with a green environment. This page basically tells you that in terms of disclosure in the annual report for your achievements in the environmental and social aspect, globally, everyone is still lagging behind. So we need to do a lot more to make this more transparent. Because it doesn't matter how well you do it, it's important that you communicate these messages not just to the regulators, but to the general public. That helps investors to decide what's best to invest in. I think I'll skip this. Basically, this page is a perfect model of how a fund manager or asset owner, how they would incorporate the sustainability information into their decision-making process in terms of their portfolio construction. So it's important, the key point of this page is, in the past, we just look at financial information. Now we look at financial and non-financial information, especially if this information pertains to the sustainability of a firm. The key message for this page is different industries have different key factors, what we call material factors. So for the chemical industry, innovation, environmental management, and product stewardship, these are the more important factors to consider. So those are on the square right here, okay? So remember this page, and then we jump over to another page. For IT companies, the key factors are very different. So that's the beauty of the assessment by Robico Sam. We need to look at different industries with different grain of salt, because they are under different competitive pressure, regulatory environment, so we have to be cautious of that when we evaluate these companies. And this page and the page before the last one, basically it demonstrates how valuation specialists, how do they value the company's fair value, taking into account the sustainability information. So there are a lot of details on in these slides, and I know Robico Sam will be coming to Thailand soon, so they will be able to give you some live examples. When we talked to Robico Sam, they said they can't give us live examples due to confidentiality, but they can, so I'll leave that to them. So this is kind of a continuation of the previous page. Okay, I'm two-thirds done. Finally. So for all the Thai companies who got admitted to the DJSI, it's a testimony, a proof that you are the leader in the field. And for some of the companies that won the award as the global leader, you are a competitor globally. So I salute all those firms, that achieved that. And so a lot of this is also in terms of corporate awareness. You are doing a lot of things to tell the government this is important. The exchange endorses that. So I think the awareness among the general public is the next step. And for S&P Dow Jones, if there's anything we can do to further educate the public, let us know. So these are the leaders that Ropico Sam identified for 2014, and Thai Oil PCL is right there. I'm not trying to advertise for any firm, but I'm just stating the fact. Yeah. So in terms of how the outside world look at these sustainable companies, so there are real monies tied to these things. Like when I say real monies, I mean like there are pension funds that track the indexes in terms of mandates. They might put 200 million, 300 million, and then they would tell a fund manager to just benchmark that to a mandate and an index. So that's one aspect of the money. And the second aspect of about the money tied to these indexes would be about ETFs and structured products. We help fund managers and investment banks to create products. And there are many products tied to DJSI indexes. So right now, our estimate is roughly 4.6 billion USD. And some of the key users of the indexes are shown below. Yeah. So in a way, I just want to say, like, I'm impressed with the advancement of the concept of sustainability in Thailand. And I started coming to Thailand 10 years ago with a fund management firm. I was responsible for client servicing. But this time I see the enthusiasm by many people, both the government, the exchange, and the corporates. So definitely, this is really encouraging for us. I think I cover all the pages. There might be missing one or two, but it doesn't matter. So today is about you guys, Thailand. It's not about us, but we share your happiness, and we want to do further things with Thailand, SCT, to further the concept of sustainability. So I really appreciate your time and late in the day, and I think I kept my promise, 20 minutes. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your impressive presentation. We do learn a lot more about sustainable development and its role in driving